Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're asking, is Hawaii a warning for property development policies here in Thailand? I made a prior video where I was talking about a recent, I don't know what you want to call it, expo that Toxin was at, where he was talking about how he wanted to create another rich guy visa, which I think is pretty ridiculous at this point. I don't know how many of these so-called, I hesitate to even call it digital nomad because it's just rich guy visa. Oh, if you have a bunch of money, you can come here and you're very special and you don't have to go through the same thing everybody else has to go through. And he was also tacking on, oh yeah, you throw enough money at us here in Thailand, you can buy some land. We've already been through this once. Thais do not want this. It's not in line with anything associated with standard Thai public policy. The name on the door of the country is pretty self-explanatory. Thailand. That's how we all like it around here. That said, I do understand foreigners have some consternation about that, but frankly, look, if you look at the history of Thailand, colonization, avoiding all of that, I totally get it. Now, I don't just have the fervor of the converted. I believe it. I believed it before I became Thai. So, I just think it's logical. You don't want foreigners to own land in your country. That's, to my mind, a pretty logical way of thinking. Now, as we've discussed in other videos, it is possible for foreign nationals to own condominiums here in Thailand, notwithstanding these other restrictions. And as we've discussed, there are various quotas associated with that. But yeah, it's possible for a foreign national to gain what we would call freehold title in an American common law vernacular, or freehold title, that would be a sort of a British Westminster common law vernacular, or fee simple absolute in an American common law vernacular with regard to, you can get shenote title. That's a title deed that you own the property for a condominium. Totally possible, completely viable, nothing outside of the realm of possibility when it comes to that. Now, the reason for this video, I'm going to get into here in a moment. There was a comment on that video that I made regarding Thaksin's announcement. But before I get into that, I think it's worth pointing out, I am providing sort of more long-form analysis in our paid news service. That's Integrity News Service. If you're interested in that, I've got 10 episodes already in the can discussing all kinds of things, especially as it pertains to the expat community here in Thailand. The last one was like an hour and 20 minutes long that we filmed. I went into a very deep dive about political developments, strategies for banking and dealing with your experience here in Thailand, dealing with your life here in Southeast Asia, and the things that you can do to better protect yourself from the vicissitudes of different policy changes in many different countries, not just Thailand. It is Thailand-centric for obvious reasons. I'm based here, but it's sort of looking at it from the perspective of an expat here in Southeast Asia. If you're interested in that, please feel free to email us, media@integrity-legal.com. Also worth pointing out while I'm talking my book here, my better half and I have set up Pancake Palace here in downtown Bangkok. As the name implies, we've got pancakes as well as breakfast anytime. It's American-style diner food, although for you Brits out there, we do have an English breakfast if you're interested in that. We've also got buffalo wings, cheeseburgers, hamburgers, chili bowls, pork chops, and even grilled cheese, as well as glass bottle Coke. If you're interested in American diner style food, link is in the description below. We'd love to see you at Pancake Palace. That said, regarding Hawaii as an example, or as a warning, if you will, regarding property development in Thailand, I saw the following comment on our channel, quote, exactly, saying deposit $1 million USD and get the rights to own property? Please. Just look at Hawaii, back when they let the foreigners own land. Look today and what happened when rich foreigners were allowed to own the prime real estate. Did it help the Hawaiian people? No. Sorry, I do not think foreigners should own Thai lands. But I do agree, as you said, Thailand should appreciate and embrace the good expat retirees, as they do in fact add much value to the Thai economy. Yeah, I agree with that. I've said that many times. This constant focus on, oh, we need super rich people. No, we just need a nice volume of middle-class people that'll come here and just spend their money and enjoy themselves. I think that is the kind of retiree that we really would like and need here in Thailand. And oh, by the way, we've been doing that for a long time. What's broken? Nothing. Does anything need fixed? No. So why do that? But meanwhile, as pointed out here, again, allowing foreign nationals to come in and own land, I think is a tricky, I don't even think it's tricky, it's dangerous. Again, I may have the fervor of the converted as a Thai, but I just see it as a bad road to go down. It just is going to lead to a situation where I don't mean to sound pejorative or negative, but the notion that foreigners could burrow into the country, it has many ramifications or implicit ramifications of serious threats to the sovereignty of the country. And I would say look to the places that have allowed this, like Hawaii. Has it really been good for the locals? If it hasn't, then I think it's safe to say that it probably wouldn't be particularly good for Thailand. Now, again, as I said, there are many property options, even for land, including long-term lease, long-term, for example, what I would call like lifetime leasing, for lack of a better term, in the form of a usufruct, also called an usufruct in the European sort of way of saying it, where you can basically have lifetime right of usage of land. But in the event you pass, the land, the right of use reverts back to the Thai property owner. There are many types of benefits that one can avail themselves of in Thailand to use land. But as far as ownership goes, I tend to agree with the commenter. Yeah, not a good idea to allow foreign ownership of land itself here in the Kingdom of Thailand.